Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about pull-up to pull-down ratio of NMOS inverter driven by another inverter, alternate forms of pull-up networks, CMOS inverter operation and its transfer characteristics, BiCMOS inverters and latch-up condition. So here determination of pull-up to pull-down ratio, Z pull-up to Z pull-down. So we are going to determine this ratio. So why? Why? Because this inverter 2 is driven by inverter 1. So to drive this inverter 2, this inverter should have a pull-up to pull-down ratio of certain factor. So what is the minimum value of that? So that we are going to derive. If pull-up to pull-down ratio is greater than or equals to that value, then only this inverter 1 can able to drive the inverter 2. So what is Z stands for? It is the ratio of channel length to the channel width. So Z pull-up nothing but ratio of channel length to the channel width of pull-up network, that is L pull-up by W pull-up, and Z pull-down is nothing but ratio of channel length to the channel width of pull-down network, that is L pull-down divided by W pull-down. So for inverter 1, the input is Vin and output is V invert. Okay, and the input for inverter 2 is V invert, and V invert is nothing but output of first stage inverter. Output is V out. So the output of inverter 1 and input of inverter 2 are same. So this is the circuit arrangement. Here this is inverter 1 and this is inverter 2. So for inverter 1, input is Vin, so same as here, Vin, and output of inverter 1 is V invert, and output of inverter 2 is V out. And if you observe, for this inverter 2, the input is VGS, and from this it is clear that the output of inverter 1 is equals to input of inverter 2. So here the output of inverter 1 is V invert and input of inverter 2 is VGS. Nothing but V invert is equals to VGS. Now we are going to derive Z pull up to Z pull down of this inverter 2. So in this, these two transistors assume as in saturation region. In saturation region, the current equation is given by K into W by L into VGS minus VT whole square divided by 2. So this equation already we have derived, drain current equation. And whenever these two transistors are in saturation, nothing but these two are fully on. In that case, maximum amount of current flows through these transistors and the current remains the same. Why? Because these two transistors are in series. That's why the current remains the same. Now you have to write down current equations for this depletion mode and enhancement mode MOSFETs, and the current remains the same. That's why you have to equate those two expressions and derive the pull up to pull down ratio. Okay, that is the procedure. So in this equation, if you take pull up network, that is depletion mode MOSFET, so we are calling it as pull up network. Why? Because whenever this MOSFET is on, VDD is connected to output, hence we will get high output. So this pull up network always try to make output as high, that is it always pulls up the output. This pull down network or this NMOS transistor whenever becomes on, output is connected to ground, hence output will goes to 0. So whenever it becomes on, it tries to make output to 0, that is it pulls down the output to 0. That's why it is called as pull down network. For this pull up network or depletion mode MOSFET, gate and source are shorted, nothing but VGS is equals to 0. And for this depletion mode MOSFET, the depletion, the threshold voltage represented by VTD. VTD. D stands for depletion mode. So then use this equation and write down IDS. Okay, for depletion mode MOSFET, IDS is equals to K into W by L. Now W replaced by W pull up. Why? Because it is pull up network. L is replaced by L pull up into VGS. What is VGS for this pull up network? It is equals to 0. Why? Because gate and source are shorted. VGS is equals to 0. 0 minus VT. VT is the threshold voltage. So the threshold voltage of this depletion mode MOSFET is replaced by VTD. Okay, 0 minus VTD whole square divided by 2. Okay, like this. For depletion mode MOSFET, IDS is equals to K into W pull up by L pull up into 0 minus VTD means minus VTD whole square divided by 2, since VGS is equals to 0. Similarly, for enhancement mode MOSFET, okay, for this K into W pull down divided by L pull down into VGS minus VT whole square divided by 2. But what is VGS here? See here, VGS is equals to V inverted. That is, the input of second inverter is equals to output of first inverter circuit. That's why VGS is replaced by V invert. Okay, like this. So IDS is equals to K into W pull down divided by L pull down into V invert, not VGS here. V invert, VGS is replaced by V invert minus VT whole square divided by 2. Here VT, not VTD, because it is enhancement mode MOSFET. Okay, since VGS is equals to V invert. Now, what we know, these two transistors are in saturation. That's why the current remains same. Hence, equate these two equations. You will get K get cancelled, 2 and 2 get cancelled. We will get W pull up divided by L pull up into minus VTD whole square by 2. Okay, this one is equals to, so remaining W pull down by L pull down into V invert minus VT whole square. But what is W by L? 1 by Z. Why? Z is equals to L by W, not W by L. That's why W pull down divided by L pull down is equals to 1 by Z pull down. Here W pull up by L pull up is equals to 1 by Z pull up. Okay, if you write down those two, you will get this type of expression, that is 1 by Z pull down into V invert minus VT whole square is equals to, this is 1 by Z pull up minus VTD whole square. So what we require? Z pull up divided by Z pull down. So here if you do cross multiplication, you will get Z pull up by Z pull down is equals to minus VTD whole square divided by V invert minus VT. Okay, and after that if you substitute typical values as VT is equals to 0.2 VDD, okay, that is threshold voltage of enhancement mode MOSFET. VTD, threshold voltage of depletion mode MOSFET, is minus 0.6 VDD. For depletion mode MOSFET, there it is negative value. V invert is equals to 0.5 VDD. If you substitute and solve for pull up to pull down ratio, you will get 4:1. Okay, 4:1. So this is the minimum required pull up to pull down ratio to drive NMOS inverter and another NMOS inverter. Okay. Similarly, pull up to pull down ratio for NMOS inverter driven through one or more pass transistors. Already we have discussed what is pass transistor logic. Okay. So if NMOS transistors are arranged like in series, then we can say this is pass transistor logic. So now this inverter truth is driven by one or more pass transistors. Then what is the minimum required pull up to pull down ratio? Okay, that you have to derive. For this, refer the textbook. Okay, and for that the minimum required pull up to pull down ratio is 8:1. Next topic, alternate forms of pull-up. So in previous NMOS inverter, we are using depletion mode MOSFET as pull-up network and enhancement mode MOSFET as pull-down network. Now we are replacing that pull-up depletion mode MOSFET by alternate resistive load inverter, inverter with enhancement NMOSFET, depletion load NMOS, and complementary transistor pull-up. So resistive load means that pull-up network is replaced by a resistor, and that resistor will act as load resistor. Second one, inverter with enhancement mode and MOSFET. That is the pull-up network, the depletion mode MOSFET is replaced by enhancement mode MOSFET. Then how it can works as an inverter we will discuss. Depletion load NMOS. Okay. So whatever the previous circuit, that is NMOS inverter we are using, we have discussed the circuit itself, that is depletion load NMOS. Complementary transistor pull-up. So here complementary means it is combination of PMOS and NMOS. Okay, P is complement to NMOS transistor. Okay, that's why it is called as complementary MOS structure. Okay, pull-up network is designed by using pull-up PMOS transistors. Pull-down network is designed by using NMOS transistors. Okay, so in that case, how it can works as an inverter we will discuss. So first one is resistive load inverter. So if you observe, this is NMOS inverter as we have discussed in previous. Okay, here it is depletion mode NMOS, here it is VDD, it is ground, and here it is input, it is output. Okay, this is depletion load inverter or NMOS inverter. So here this pull-up network is replaced by now with a resistive load. In this case, if Vin is equals to logic 0, then what is happening? This transistor, this NMOS transistor is becomes into off. Okay, it is off. Whenever this Vin is equals to low input or logic 0, this transistor is off. Whenever it is off means open circuited. In that case, VDD is directly connected to output, hence you will get high output. Next case, whenever Vin is equals to 1, that is high, this transistor becomes into on. Whenever it is on, the output is connected to ground through this transistor, hence it is discharging. You will get low output. For low input, you are getting high output. For high input, you are getting low output. Okay, that is we are getting inverter operation. So here we have replaced the depletion mode MOSFET with resistive load. Second one, inverter with enhancement mode NMOS. So in this case, the depletion mode MOSFET is replaced by this enhancement mode MOSFET, and this is the enhancement mode MOSFET. Here the gate is connected to drain. Okay, here gate is connected to supply voltage VDD. If we connect like this, this NMOS transistor becomes into always on. In depletion mode MOSFET, if you connect the gate and source, then the transistor becomes always on. In enhancement mode, if the gate is connected to VDD, then this transistor becomes always on state. So that is VGS is equals to VDG, or it is VGG. Okay, gate voltage VGG. Whenever it is always on means for logic 0 or low input, this transistor becomes into off. That is, it is open circuited. Whenever it is open, VDD is directly connected to output, hence we will get high output. Whenever Vin is equals to high or logic 1, then output is directly connected to ground through this transistor. Why? Because it becomes into on in condition Vin is equals to high. So due to that we will get low output. So for low input we are getting high output, for high input we are getting low output. That is nothing but inverter operation. And if you see the transfer characteristics of this inverter, for low input we are getting high output, but this output is not equals to VDD. Why? Because here this enhancement mode MOSFET is connected to VDD. In enhancement mode, the channel is not established. To develop the channel, it requires some voltage, that is threshold voltage. So that much amount of drop will occur across this enhancement mode MOSFET. That's why that output is not equals to VDD, it is equals to VDD minus the threshold voltage across this transistor, that is VT. So VDD minus VT. So VT1, this is the threshold voltage of transistor 1. That much amount of drop is there, that's why we are not getting high output, we are not getting strong one. For high input we are getting non-zero output, it is not exactly zero, that is we are getting weak 0. So in this, what is the disadvantage? We are getting weak 1 and weak 0. So next, depletion load NMOS. In depletion load NMOS, so it is already we have discussed whatever the NMOS inverter we have discussed earlier, that is the same circuit, this one. So the depletion, this is the depletion mode NMOS, in which the gate and source are connected, hence VGS is equals to 0, and VDD is connected to drain of this transistor, hence it is always on state. For Vin, if Vin is equals to 0, then this transistor is off. Whenever it is off, VDD is connected to output, hence high output. And whenever Vin is equals to 1, in that case this transistor becomes into on. Due to that, the output is directly connected to ground, that is output is discharging, you will get low output. That is inverter operation. So this is the equivalent circuit. In this we have representing NMOS as a switch, and here this depletion mode MOSFET is acting as a load resistor. Okay, the CMOS inverter. CMOS inverter stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It is a combination of both PMOS transistors and NMOS transistors. PMOS transistors can work as pull-up network and NMOS transistor can work as pull-down network. So if in any circuit, if it is consisting of PMOSFET and NMOSFET transistors, then it is said to be CMOS technology. So here if you observe, the depletion mode MOSFET here replaced by a PMOS transistor, okay, this one, and the pull down network, that is enhancement mode, is NMOS transistor only. So pull up network is PMOS, pull down network is NMOS transistor, and these two, from these two gate terminals, they are a common terminal as taken, and we are giving name as V input. So this is input terminal, this is common for both the transistors, or for pull up and pull down network a common input terminal. And here from this point, that is this is source and this is drain of PMOS and NMOS, okay, those two are interconnected and we are taking a common terminal as output, that is V out. Now we will see the operation for low input. Okay, for low input, that is logic 0, PMOS becomes into on. Okay, PMOS transistor is on for low input, off for high input, where NMOS transistor is on for high input, off for low input. So for low input, PMOS becomes into on and NMOS becomes into off. Whenever it is off, it is open circuited. Now VDD is directly connected to output, hence you will get high output. Next, whenever this Vin is high or logic 1, in that case this NMOS becomes into on. Why? Because high input, and this PMOS becomes into off. Why? Because high input. It is off means this PMOS transistor is acting as open circuit. It is open means this VDD is not connected to output. Okay, it is open means there is a discontinuity. Okay, there is a discontinuity in the path from VDD to output, and this output is connected to ground through this NMOS transistor. Hence output will goes to 0. Hence you will get low output. Okay, so for low input you are getting high output, for high input you are getting low output. So like this it can acts as an inverter. Among all these inverter circuits, CMOS inverter is more preferred. And these are the characteristic curves. Okay, these are the transfer characteristic curves of CMOS inverter. For low input you are getting high output, for high input you are getting low output, and here you are getting high output as equals to VDD strong 0, strong 1 and strong 0. Okay, so we are getting good logic 1 and good logic 0 levels in CMOS technology. And if you observe the current, okay, the current between supply rails is nothing but this VDD and VSS are called as supply rails versus input. Okay, input. If we draw the input versus current, then we will get this type of curve. CMOS inverter can operate in 5 distinct regions. In region 1 means for low input PMOS transistor is on and NMOS transistor is off. Okay, PMOS is on for low input, NMOS is off for low input. Okay, so that is P is fully on and NMOS is off. That is in cutoff region. Next, the input is increasing. Okay, input is increasing slowly. Whenever input is increasing, what is happening? This NMOS transistor is going to saturation region and this PMOS transistor is entering into non-saturation region from saturation. So in second region PMOS becomes into non-saturation region and NMOS becomes into saturation region. Whenever the input is increasing, then at certain point these two transistors will enters into saturation region. Okay, now in third region both the transistors are in saturation region. In saturation region maximum amount of current flows, that's why the curve increases like this. Okay, here you are getting maximum current. If you going on increasing this input, what will happen? The behavior of transistors will be reversed. That is, in fourth region it is exactly opposite to second region. That is, PMOS transistor becomes into saturation and NMOS transistor becomes into non-saturation. Then the region fifth is exactly opposite to region 1. That is, for high input, okay, at this point input is high, then this NMOS transistor becomes into fully on and this PMOS transistor becomes into fully off. Okay, that is PMOS is off, NMOS is fully on. Okay, so like this you can able to describe the behavior or operation of the CMOS inverter. So this is very important one. Without CMOS inverter it is not possible to design any digital circuit. The next topic is BiCMOS inverters. So BiCMOS inverters itself saying that CMOS plus bi stands for bipolar junction transistor. So these inverters are combination of both bipolar junction transistors and CMOS technology, that is PMOS and NMOS. So this is bipolar transistors and these are MOSFET transistors. Okay, this is PMOS, this is NMOS, this is nothing but CMOS and this is nothing but bipolar technology. So BiCMOS, bipolar junction transistors are there, and CMOS transistors are there. Now we will see the operation, how it can work as an inverter. For logic 0, we know that for low input, this is PMOS, PMOS becomes into on, this is NMOS, NMOS becomes into off. Okay, when it is on, this VDD is passing through this transistor, or current will passes through this transistor T4. Hence, this T2 becomes into on state. It is off. It is off means it is open. Whenever T3 is open, T1 becomes into off. So in this case, there is a current flows through T4, through T2, through output terminal. Okay, so like this, a path will existing to output from VDD. Hence the output will goes to high, or the capacitor will charge it to VDD. You will get high output. Second case, for high input, for logic 1, this T4, this is PMOS, that's why it becomes into off. Okay, it becomes into off. Okay, input is 1. Now NMOS transistor becomes into on. It is off means open, there is no current flows. So it is open means this transistor is in off. This T3 is on means the transistor T1 becomes into on state. Now there is a path existing between VDD to T3 to T1 to ground, and there is a path existing output to ground. That's why the output is discharging. In the previous case, the capacitor is charged to VDD. Now this charge is discharging through transistor T1. Hence you will get low output. So for high input you are getting low, and for low input you are getting high output. So that is inverter behavior. So like this it can works as an inverter. So what is the drawback, and what is the why we are combining these bipolar and CMOS technologies? So mostly these CMOS transistors are having high density compared to bipolar junction transistors, and bipolar junction transistors are having high speed compared to CMOS. Hence in special cases we are using this BiCMOS technology. So the drawback is, if you observe, there is a DC path between VDD and ground through T3 and T1. Due to this, there will be a significant static current flows when Vin is equals to logic 1. Yes, now. Okay, the second case, if logic 1 or high input is applied, what is happening? This VDD, from VDD to ground, there is a path existing. Okay, due to that, what is happening? Static current flows. Okay, some drop will occurs through that path. That is the drawback. To eliminate this drawback, we are using another alternate BiCMOS inverter circuits. Okay, so these are the alternative BiCMOS inverters with no static current flows. Okay, so the difference between these two circuits are, so here this path is eliminated. Okay, see, there is no path. Okay, and this terminal is connected directly to output point. Okay, so here this is connected to directly output point. Now the static current flow, or the path from VDD to T3 to T1 to ground, is eliminated. Okay, hence there is no static current flow. You can able to overcome the drawback. Next, This is an improved BiCMOS inverter. Okay, so in this we are using these resistors. Okay, and you can able to get the good output logic levels. And this is another alternate. So properties of BiCMOS inverters. Large driving capability of BiCMOS inverter is one of the most significant advantages over conventional CMOS buffer circuits. BiCMOS logic gate doesn't dissipate any significant amount of static power during steady state operation. BiCMOS logic family has about same power delay product as conventional CMOS, but the gate delay is smaller. Okay, so like this we have alternate BiCMOS inverters also. Latch up in CMOS circuits. What is a latch up? So latch up is a problem, latch up is a condition. Okay, so latch up is a condition in which parasitic components gives rise to establishment of low resistive conducting path between VDD and VSS. Due to that, certain voltage drop will occur, hence you may get degraded outputs. That effect is called as latch up effect. This result in cheap self-destruction or system failure. This is one drawback. Latch up may be induced by the glitches on the supply rails or by incidental radiation. So is there any discontinuities on wire, then this type of latch up effects will be occurs. So this is a structure of N-well process. Already we have discussed the fabrication of MOSFET. So this is N-well process. In this is N type. Okay, this is N type, and this is P type, and again here it is N type. Okay, so now this structure forms NPN transistor. So this transistor is not physically existing, but due to these different layers there existing a transistor. Similarly here this is P type and this is N type, and again here it is P substrate. So PNP transistor will be formed by this structure. Similarly there is a resistance here, there is a resistance here existing. These are called as parasitic components. Okay, parasitic capacitance will also be developed. Okay, some p-n junction diode structures also developed in this MOSFET structures. Okay, without our intention these parasitic components will be existing in the transistor. So these are all known as parasitic components. These parasitic components can form a circuit which can consume the power. Okay, that effect is called as latch up effect, right? If we draw this circuit separately, then this is the circuit. Okay, this is the circuit, nothing is different. Here we have drawn in red color now, that circuit I have drawn here separately. Then you will get this structure, this circuit. Okay, due to this circuit there is a voltage drop occurs. To overcome this we have to use this type of techniques. Okay, so one is God rings, you have to use God rings. Okay, fab design approaches, reduce the gain product, moving N-well and N substrate. So these are the precautions we have to take in to reduce the latch up condition.